Apple tube. Okay. Camera adjustment. There you go. Anyway, this is my part 2, because in my first part I was already like 12 minutes in, and I didn't want to rush it for like 3 more minutes, and then at the same time, my head was kind of jumbled. I just got out of church like 4 hours ago, and I ate lunch, and I'm kind of like food comaed. So, this is my part 2. We're gonna get to Snart and Sarah. Remember, like I said, like you saw in the episode, and like I said in the past video, that, Snart and Sarah were able to get in touch with Gideon. Well, Gideon got in touch with them, and they devised a plan to try to rescue the team and get the hell out of there. And so, you see Snart and Sarah running around what looks like a hangar, you know, like in Star Wars, where they had all their ships and everything in the hangar, and all that stuff. And it looks like Sarah's attaching something to each of the ships, because there's a bunch of other time ships around there. And apparently they're trying to disable other time ships. And, while they're waiting on... What's her face? God, I forgot. Gideon! Why do I keep forgetting Gideon's name? I guess it's not common for me. But anyway, while getting a signal for Gideon saying, like, they disabled everything so they could get the hell out, Snart and Sarah taking the wheel as a captain on the Wave Rider, take off. It looks like they take off on the Wave Rider, right? Because, you know, Snart straps himself in, Sarah straps herself in the captain chair, and then you see the Wave Rider leave. And, of course, the Time Masters get word of that, and they're like, attack that Wave Rider. And then they also say, all the other Time Masters, get into your time ships and go after that time ship. Right? And we see a bunch of these Time Masters in their ships, and then all of a sudden, I thought this was freaking hilarious. All of a sudden, their ships, even their AI programs that are in the ships, start, like, going wonky and all that shit. I can't think of another word, I'm sorry. I can't think of a very intelligent word to think about what was going on. Like, basically, whatever Sarah attached to all those, time ships actually worked. It didn't make the ships explode, but it kind of like not really short-circuited, it pretty much, in a way, it kind of like hacked their systems, in a way, and all you hear is that freaking song. You remember in the first, I think it was the first episode, when Sarah, Snart, and, Mick were all in that bar for the first time, and, Mick's like, who wants to listen to Captain and Tennille? You remember that song? Love will keep us together, and all that good stuff. Please do not copyright. Please, for love of God, YouTube, do not copyright me for that. I'm sorry. But for those people who didn't know what song I was talking about, you pretty much hear that song when they're in the bar together. And when they manage to, you know, in a way, hack into the systems of all the time ships, all you hear is that song on every single one of their speakers. And it's like the most hilarious shit in the world. And then all of a sudden their ships, like, pretty much... They're mid-air, they're about to take off, but like, pff, they all fall back to the ground, just playing that song all day, and it was like, that is the perfect way. That song, they stopped with that song, seriously, out of all things, that is awesome. I actually like that song, so it was cool hearing it again, and in the coolest way possible, knocking out all the other time ships. Good job, Gideon. That was Gideon's plans, because, when Sarah was putting all those what looked like little bombs, Snart was not liking the idea and all that stuff, and Sarah's like, it was Gideon's plan and all that stuff, so Gideon, good job. But anyway, they managed to break into the room where Ray, Stein, and Rip were being, held hostage and all that shit. Before I, get to that, we're gonna go a little before that where they get to Mick. Well, they don't get to Mick, we get to Mick, and, we see that they're still doing that brainwashing thing on him, and, there is a Time Master there. I forgot what his name was. It definitely wasn't that Zaman dude, whatever his name is. But, what I thought was hilarious was the fact that there was a moment where they kept shocking him, right? And they're like, what's your name, right? I'm guessing he's waiting till he actually gets completely brainwashed and say Kronos, right? And then all of a sudden, like, bzz, and he's all stone-faced. And by he, I mean Mick, and he's like, Kronos. He straight up says it, like, I think he asked like 3 or 4 times. About the 4th time it happened, like after he gets electrocuted a little bit, Mick just goes stone faced and just says Kronos. And we like, for me anyway, I know a lot of people are like, oh no, not again, Mick is Kronos again, right? But in all honesty, in my honest opinion, I did not. I think that Mick was playing them when I saw that, because if you look at that scene again, it just didn't seem. How should I? It didn't seem legit. It didn't seem like he honestly got brainwashed again and turned back into Kronos. It seemed a little too quick how he simply went all kind of stone-faced after getting electrocuted and said Kronos immediately after like the 3rd or 4th time the guy asked. So for me, it's like, I think, in my opinion, when I first saw that, in my honest opinion, I thought that Mick was playing them. But either he got turned into Kronos hella quick, or he's playing them, right? So anyway, back to Snart and Sarah. They managed to get into the room where, you know, Ray, Stein, and Rip were being held hostage. And they managed, you know, rescue those 3. Well, they're about to, and unfortunately, you know, the moment Stein says, Snart, you have impeccable timing, Ray's like, maybe not, and the moment that happens, Snart turns around, because in comes Kronos, and that one Time Master dude that was with them in the brainwashing shows up. He's like, kill them, you know, get rid of them, shoot them, right? And this is where my theory actually came true, because in my honest theory, when I saw what looked like Mick surrendering to the brainwashing program, turning to Kronos, like the world's quickest Kronos brainwashing ever, my theory was that he was playing them, right? And it turned out to be true, because the moment that one Time Master was like, shoot him, he's like, sure, and turns around and shoots the Time Master, and I'm like, I knew it. I called that shit! I knew that was too fast of a brainwashing! Freaking Mick is a genius! That was just... Good job, Mick. Good freaking job, Mick Rory. So, like, Sarah, Snart, Rip, Stein, Ray, and... Did I say Mick? Mick. All were able to get out of there and get back onto the Wave Rider and get the hell away from them for a bit. And, that's when, Rip pretty much informs everybody else, like Mick, Snart, and Sarah, who do not know about the Oculus. They pretty much get, they're, like, informed about it, and the team decides, you know, to reclaim their destinies anyways. Instead of being puppets, they decided to not be puppets anymore and reclaim their destinies, and they figured out the only way for them to stop, you know, controlling their lives and their destinies, and, you know, seeing the past, present, and future and controlling their destinies, they had to destroy the one thing they used to do that, which was, indeed, the Oculus. So they devised a plan to destroy the Oculus. There was an interesting moment that I saw when that happened, where Snart actually goes to Sarah. It looks like it might be in her room. And, they have, this interesting moment, which I thought was really, really adorable. Snart offers to play cards with her again, and she's, like, not in the mood and all that stuff. And Snart actually says that he also came to apologize for pulling his cold gun at her. And also to the fact that he's like, apparently I was under the influence of the Time Masters when that happened. And then Sarah's like, doesn't matter, you were still a jerk and all that shit, right? So it was pretty funny seeing them banter a little bit about that. But what really got me was the fact that despite that tension they had together, Snart comes to Sarah's room, offers to play cards with her, actually admits that he also came to apologize. And when Sarah still called him a jerk, he actually admits he was guilty of that. And then, what I thought was another cute moment in that scene was the fact that Snart was talking to Sarah about, you know, time traveling and all that stuff. And, hang on, let me find the exact words. Hang on. I found the words! But anyway, this is like an iPhone. Anyway, Snart mentions to Sarah, because Sarah says that even though they've been controlled by the Time Master, in her honest opinion, she thinks that she is responsible for her own actions. And Snart actually retaliates here, saying, it's the things that I didn't do well, Sarah told her that all her actions that she did keeps her up at night. Snart's all like, it's the things I didn't do that keep me up at night, and Sarah's actually quite curious about that, and Snart retaliates saying, oh, I don't know, maybe it's being on this ship, traveling through time. I started to wonder what the future might hold for me, meaning himself, and then he says, and you, meaning Sarah, so he's wondering about his future, he's also wondering about Sarah's, and then he does the cutest thing in the world where he literally says, I can't even, it's too cute. It's, oh my god. Anyway, he's like, what the future holds for me, what the future holds for you, and then he goes, and what the future holds for me and you. It's basically, Snart is practically saying, in his own little way, he's wondering about his future, wondering about Sarah's, and he's wondering about his future with Sarah. Because he literally said, me and you, which means he literally is saying his own words. He wants to know if there's a future for them, the both of them, when this all is over. And it's like, did you just admit you want a future with Sarah Leonard Snart? Captain Canary. Is this like another good hint to Captain Canary, you guys? Did Leonard Snart, aka Captain Cold, actually admit that he wants to have a future with Sarah Lance after all this shit is over? Oh my god. And the cute thing is what she said was also a fun-loving retaliation, because after he said that pretty much an admission to wanting a future with Sarah, she's like, she goes up to his face saying, if you want to steal a kiss from me, Leonard, you better be one hell of a thief. And I was like, oh, please let him kiss you. I just want to see it happen. Because, come on, he is a master thief. I'm pretty damn sure he's capable, because after she said that and walked out of the room, you can see this Cheshire grin on Leonard Snart's face. That pretty much, in my opinion, that face that he made, that smirky face, pretty much in my mind, looked like a game on face. I'm just saying. But they arrive at the place where the Oculus is. And when they arrive, unfortunately, that Zaman dude is there with a bunch of soldiers, because apparently they were expecting them. I'm only guessing they used the Oculus for that. And, they're all surrounded until all of a sudden, the jump ship comes out of nowhere and shoots the shit out of everyone surrounding them. And here comes sweet loving Jax, his affliction all cured, and the rest of them take out the soldiers. And I forgot to mention that during this episode, because Jax was away for so long, Stein was on the verge of dying, right? Shit, I am running out of more time. How is this possible? I guess I'm gonna have to talk about the ending part in maybe a part 2.5 kind of video. But this is my part 2 video of Legends of Tomorrow Season 1, Episode 15, titled Destiny. Peace out, fools.